Hola, ¿cómo está? Bien YouTube. Hey, this is Canadian Conquistador. This is part 2 to my packing, how to pack for a unsupported 2-week hike. I'm getting into details about how to pack certain things and suggestions on what you might want to bring with you. And I hope you like this video. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button. Leave a comment below. We'll see ya. I've got a Thermarest Neo Aero X-Lite and we're giving this a try. Our last ones were a lot heavier. This one we decided to go with the short version, so it's only going to go down to about my knees. It's supposed to be more comfortable, lighter, which just means you gotta be more careful not to poke a hole in it, I'm sure. It's probably not as durable as my old one. The old ones were Thermarest too, but they're full size and a lot heavier, a lot bigger. These ones roll up pretty good. Keep this inside this pocket here. Kind of protects it. I'm not gonna roll it up. I don't really put anything else in there, so I'm thinking that this might be good because it'll also rest against your back. The other thing I got was a pillow. I swore I wouldn't get a pillow, but last time I was out, I was jotting down notes and a pillow was definitely worth the weight to bring. And this is a rugged camp, very light, probably weighs as much as a half empty Pepsi can. But yeah, we're gonna give this a try. So I got a pillow, I got a sleep mattress. The sleep mattress is definitely essential in Colorado. There's no soft places to sleep at, you know. So the next thing, this is enlightenment equipment. This is something we bought last year. I didn't actually get to use it. It is a sleeping quilt. So big difference. My last system was synthetic, but yeah, this is a new sleep system that we're going with. Water repellent down. It's still warm enough to sleep in even if it got a little wet, you know. Unlike the other synthetic ones, they don't ever dry out. It has snaps on it, and the thing is, it's all down. This is my first down sleeping bag. I have to say that this was probably, wait for it, probably 600 bucks for this thing. So I'm anxious to try it out. You wondering where you put the sleeping bag in the bag? I don't even put it in a bag, actually. I always put my sleeping bag in the very beginning in your backpack because it's the last thing I take out when I'm gonna camp. You know, I set up my tent, I put out my sleeping pad, and then I put out my sleeping bag, so it can go right at the very bottom. And this also affords it to have, you can really pack it in there so it's not taking up room, and it fills all those spaces on the bottom of your bag. Yeah, that's the best place for your sleeping bag in my opinion. It cushions everything else, muffles noises that are jingling in there, and you can pack things in there easier. But yes, that is my new toy. It's rated down to 10 degrees, I believe, but it is going to be awesome, I think, between that new sleeping pad and that new sleeping quilt. I think we're gonna be nice and comfortable. Of course, my dog's gonna sleep with me, so hopefully she doesn't puncture any holes in the mattress with her nails. But, you know, things happen. We're just gonna hope for the best. We're doing clothes now, and I'm just gonna go through what I bring. I wear toe socks out there. They're super comfortable, easy to clean. You wanna make sure that you get all the lint and all those little tiny fabric things. You wanna singe those off or do something, but I bring one pair of these on my feet, and I bring an extra, so that way when I do laundry, I have that extra pair. I also bring a pair of nice thick wool socks, and I usually sleep in these on my feet when I take my shoes off. Plus, you never know, you might hit a snowstorm. You want your feet to be warm at least. So that's a pretty big item, but it's worth it. I slept really good with my feet being warm. I also bring 2 pair of underwear, but I wear 1 pair and then I keep 1 pair, and if I wash them, when I wash them, I hang it off the outside of my pack to air dry, And like I said, I keep one pair I'm wearing and one pair that I take with me. I've never had any problem just having 2 pairs. The other thing my daughter bought me was a buff. I've never had to wear one of these, but you know, keep your neck warm. Rocky Mountains, very beautiful. Always bring a pair of hiking pants. If it's too cold to be wearing shorts, these go on. These are Arc'teryx. They're like a medium weight. They're not waterproof, but they'll repel water, but they're mainly wind pants. I wore them last time when I was up on the mountains, and they kept me that perfect temperature, you know. For sleeping, or if it gets really cold, I have a pair of Arc'teryx spandex pants, I guess you could call them, but these are windproof. So I have 2 layers of windproof on my legs if I have to. Very nice, very expensive too, so I've been saving up. I replaced all my old gear that I owned for 20 years with new gear. Over the last 4 years, I've been buying like 1 item every 2 months or so. So the costs haven't really been that dramatic. You know, you buy one thing once in a while, and then eventually you have a real nice set of hiking equipment. I bought one of these. It's like a sun shirt / wind shirt. It's got UV built into it, made by Drytech. But yeah, you can roll the sleeves up or you can roll them down. It's just like a nice little safari shirt to wear. Keep you out of the sun if you're getting sunburned or something. It's nice and light. I might sleep in this actually. I've got her a winter jacket here. This is for at night or if it gets windy out there. It zips on, it's waterproof, it's a nice windbreaker. It's actually fleece and some kind of waterproof material on it. So this is going to be her sleeping system, and when she gets cold, you know. A lot of owners out there forget to bring their dogs any clothing, and that's very important if you're bringing dogs, you know. Look out for your pup, because they're going to be looking out for you up there, barking when people are coming around or animals are coming around, so you want your dog to be safe. Fjällräven jacket. This is a windbreaker / it's got synthetic down in it. It's not real down. So it weighs a little bit, but you know what? This thing is very comfortable. It's got extra long sleeves for me, and that's just what I need. So besides the jacket, all this stuff is gonna go above my sleeping bag. That way nothing pointy is gonna be puncturing my sleeping bag. It's starting to get really hot. You want shorts and you want a short sleeve shirt. Buff I might actually put with my jacket, my socks. So you get it, right? You got your tent set up, and then take out your cooking gear, cook your dinner and everything, get that all washed up, and then you have your clothes to switch into for nighttime. Then you put your air bag out, your air mattress, and then you can grab your sleeping bag last, right? So that's how I have it assembled here. I have this pocket up on top here. This here, I keep my rain jacket, which I'll go and get here in a minute. And I keep my winter jacket, my windbreaker, I keep that up here on top, because that's where I want easy access. The only other thing that I think that should be up on top is probably your toiletries. And everybody's bag's different, but you don't want to take it apart just to grab your toiletries, so I leave a little space here. All right, so this is a new, my last rain jacket weighed about 2 pounds, and I'm not even exaggerating, but it was really hardcore, really thick. It's something you want to wear in torrential rains and stuff. But then Outdoor Research makes these rain jackets. They're expensive, like I said, very light. They crush down to nothing. Let's see how small we can get this. A Pepsi can. If I had a crush bag for that, that's the size of a rain jacket. My other rain jacket was just crazy how big it was. But I'm gonna put this in the top here with my winter jacket. I've been looking at the weather. It's been getting down in the 50s. That means I think you -5 degrees for every 1,000 feet. So at 12,000 feet, we're probably looking at maybe 30s in the middle of the night. So I'm bringing gloves. I'm not bringing thick winter ones, just enough to, some nice little leather ones. If I gotta do some scuffing up some rocks or something, I can break these out. And this isn't part of clothing, but this is my toilet paper setup. I have a shovel made by the Tent Lab called the Deuce #2. Very light. It's really hard to dig into Colorado dirt, but this thing seems to do its thing. I also have in here wet ones, at least 30 of them. And I have a bag of talcum powder because you don't want to get rash. You don't want anything moist down there. You want everything to be nice and dry. Chafing is not something that's fun if you're hiking, and it will probably send you back to the car. But this is my toilet paper kit. I'm just gonna put this with the clothing just because it goes in the top with everything else. So that's gonna be up there in case you have an emergency. So everything's up here on the top. I got my jacket, my rain jacket, got my clothes in there, and now we're gonna move along. So now on to the small stuff, but necessary stuff. Last time I went hiking, I was up after it was daylight and I was camping before it got dark, so this was not that necessary. But this is a black diamond, and the batteries have been in there for 3 years, and look, still works. Anyhow, headlamp, necessary, especially if you plan on hiking in the dark. This is gonna go over your head, obviously. And point away and get walking. Up on the top. This here is my foot care pack. So it's kept aside from my first aid pack because there's so much stuff involved in this. I've got foot cream, I've got the dog's foot cream. She wears this musher's wax on her feet that's really good for her feet, and she likes the massage at the end of the hike each night. And I've got some strength tape, I've got some skin tack, and I've got some alcohol wipes in here, and I even have some moleskin in here in case I have some blisters somewhere. But yeah, this pack is gonna go in the top. My first aid kit, you're like, whoa, that is tiny. I am very, very careful when I walk. I'm not running around, I'm not being crazy. I'm always paying attention where I walk. If I get hurt, it's probably gonna be a cut or a minor scratch that can get infected. So I do have my antibiotic in here. I have Band-Aids. I have big gauzes here. I need to run to the store and still get some tape. And I have my ibuprofen in here, my anti-laxative, my antidiuretic, and some headache medicine. So headache pills, whatever you want to call those. So that's pretty much the extent of my first aid kit. If I'm that hurt, I have a bandana for a tourniquet to stop bleeding. You know what cauterizing is. Tent repair kit. This has patches, has glue, has all that stuff, zippers, extra zippers. So if my shelter is damaged, I have a means to fix rips, tears, whatever. Pretty essential. It's a little weighs more than I'd like it to weigh, but I'm gonna bring it. I'm pretty safe with my tent, but you never know what happens. All this stuff is going in this top inside flap. I don't know what's in your backpack, but there, if I do complete this trail, there is 2 places that you can resupply. I'm not gonna be resupplying, I'm taking everything with me, but I will bring some cash and a mask, so they let you in the store, and I might buy some ice cream or something like that, because that's one thing, probably a Pepsi, or something like that. Pepsi and ice cream, yep. But a mask is a good idea for those 2 places that I might stop at, and that's assuming they're even open. My coffee and my electrolytes, so, and my emergency. So drinks, my morning coffee, electrolytes, and vitamin C. So at least one a day. I'll put one of these tabs in there, and all this stuff I took out of its original packaging. I recommend you do that with every single thing you have. Find a different, lighter means of packing things. Like these came in big tubes that were plastic, and I just took them all out and put them in here. But it is very important to stay hydrated, and water alone is not enough once you become dehydrated. So this will keep you from getting to that dehydrated state and keep you nice and hydrated. So that's very important that you keep up on that. Basically everything in here is what you would use for a day pack. You know, if I broke a leg and I can't carry this full backpack, I might be able to get by with just bringing the top of this. this has everything necessary to get me back home. All the important stuff, shelter isn't going to be there, of course. Your clothing aren't going to be in there, but for medicine, keeping you hydrated, toiletries, all that stuff's right up here. So if you got to haul it out of there, then that's what you're going to do. You are going to want a ground cloth of some sort. You can use Tyvek. You can use a piece of cardboard if you wanted to. You want to keep something, all this nice equipment that you bought, you want to keep it nice and clean, and you don't want anything puncturing your airbag. This is a polyethylene. I went from a sheet this big when folded. It was about that big, probably about that thick, of Tyvek. And it was like 4 feet by 4 feet. And I actually measured this out for my air mattress. So it's just like a foot wider than my air mattress on both sides and for the length. So this is gonna keep your air mattress from getting punctured, but come on guys, look at this. It's as small and almost as light as a sandwich bag. So I went from something that was huge to this. That's, you gotta think, you know, you don't want to be carrying all that extra weight. That's a good thing about being able to practice this stuff out in the real situations. You know, you don't watch YouTube videos, you actually go out there and you learn this stuff yourself. You know, what do you not like about hiking? You don't like carrying all that weight. You don't like the bulkiness of your pack. The other thing that we're missing is my tarp tent stakes. I haven't got to the tent yet, but these are the stakes. I got the titanium ones. There's about 8 of them in here. I need all of them for the system that I have. One thing I have issues with is my knees, right? Especially going downhill. I've got these, I've got assorted. They're that you find the part that's hurting and you just strap it on, or you strap it on, or wherever you got issues. But me, I have downhill issues, so I bring 2 just in case, because I know my body. You know, I know when I'm going down those hills. I go up hills like a king, but you know, going downhill I'm more like a joker. Between these and ibuprofen, price. So far folks, I got almost everything in here and I'm only this far into my backpack. So cooking equipment, so everybody's gonna be different. I've got this thing, I ordered it from China. I didn't intentionally order it from China, but it was back ordered. It took me almost a year to get this little guy. But this little BRS burner, it's titanium. It's the lightest one you can find. It's the smallest one you can find. And I've already used this on a 10-day hike, so I already know that this is like golden. Very tiny, very, very tiny. My cooking equipment took me a while to figure out how to get it as small as I can get it and as light as I can get it. So this system that I have here, if you want to save a lot of research, just imitate what I got going on here because it works. I've got another bit of that polyethylene because that's one thing I noticed last time when I was cooking. There was just dirt everywhere and you were setting your spoon on like the ground and stuff like this. So now I have a little tiny polyethylene bag that I can set my spoon, can set my food and all that. It's a little prep area, like a tablecloth basically. So I have fuel, of course. I don't know if this is gonna run my whole 12 days. I might run out at some point and then I'll just cold soak all my food. I got a sponge that I cut out small so I can clean out my cooking pot. I've got, this is I'll let you read it. It is a lid kid that might be Russian or something, I don't know. But it's a generic version of the ones that you see at REI and I got for cheaper, and it's the right amount of size that I wanted because it can fit my canister in there. And this I made, it's an insulator. You can look on other people's YouTubes how to make one of these, but you make your food, you take it off the heat, put it in this little cozy, and you can actually hold it, drink from it, but it also holds the heat in so that your food keeps cooking. So if you don't want to be burning up all those BTUs, just turn it off when it's a rolling boil, put a lid on that sucker, and you're done. So I put the sponge in first, and then I put my gas canister upside down. somewhere like this. I put my little polyethylene bag in there. I put my little burner in there. And you can even put a lighter in there if you want. Matches, whatever you want. Put the lid on. Everything's in there. And then they gave me this little bag that came. And this is essential for keeping the noise down so you're not rattling when you're walking, hiking. If you put this on, you put it on pretty tight, it'll keep all that noise down. And that's your complete cook kit, guys. Minus the spork. I got a real long titanium spork. This is water. I'm gonna use the same system I did last time. I bought one of these CNOC bags. It's some kind of funky plastic. Maybe this is what they're making the robot skin out of, you know, down under Washington, D.C. there, or Area 57. So I got the Sawyer squeeze, and basically this fits perfectly on this. So basically you fill this up in the creek, if you're lucky to get a creek. Here in Colorado, you might not get a creek, trust me, you might get a trickle. So put this on and squeeze it into your water bottles, okay? And there you go, you have purified water. And I also bring some iodine tablets just in case this malfunctions. Trekking poles. I've got some Montum. I think they're like $89 on Amazon. Very nice, super light. I would just bring one with me normally, but because my tent system is set up with tent poles, I have to bring them both. So I'm fortunate for that, but it's probably better for me anyways to bring these, especially when you got a heavy backpack on. It's really good for going down hills, even good for the uphills. If you have to defend yourself, you could probably defend yourself with one of these little snap-ins. So I can actually snap in the top, one here, voila, instant. They're on the outside, ready for use. Of course, you should always carry a compass because your phone might not always work. If you're on the front range of Colorado, you can pretty much know where east and west is, okay? Once you get into the interior where there's mountains in 360 around you, no way. You can't even tell what time of day it is when you're up there. Most essential thing for my pilgrimage. I'm going on a pilgrimage, okay? I'm bringing my Bible. I plan on reading this whole thing while I'm up there. I've read the Bible several times, but you know, I'm going up there to meet God. I'm going up there to speak to God, be closer, you know, in altitude at least. But yeah, this is my dad's Vietnam Bible that he carried in his pack in Vietnam, so it's perfect. I thought it was just the New Testament, but it's actually the whole Bible right in this little tiny guy. So is a knife. So this knife, got some things done with it. I've got a fire starter on it. Got a sharpening stone right here. So I really wish that this had some phosphorus for lighting, you know. So what I'd have to do is get like some duck feathers, or even take a little of that down from my dog's hair and put it in there, start a fire. But this knife, I got it. It's really nice and solid. It's got my name on it. This is bushcraft big time. So let's look at this. Damascus steel, deer horn handle. It's got some brass here, brass fittings, real thick tine on it. Look at that. Goes all the way through the handle. Beautiful knife. I didn't get to bring this last time. I think I bought this when I got back. So this is my new baby. This is going to be, if I lost everything in my bag, if I had this, I could do a lot, you know. Here we got a couple things for my dog. I've got a bear bell, which when she's walking, I put this, you take this little thing off, and so when she's walking around, she's making lots of noise, because I don't really make a lot of noise when I'm walking. So as long as there's that jiggling, that jaggling, you know, animals are gonna flee from noises like that when they hear it coming, rather than go and investigate what it is. So I put it on my dog because she moves more. she's bouncing up and down, making lots of noise. The other thing I brought is a water slash dinner bowl for my dog. This is really helpful. I mean, you could technically pour water in your hand and let your dog drink from it. I have here is a tarp tent. These will run you almost up to $800. Actually, I might even pay $1,000 for this. It came in 3 parts. Comes with a winterized internal tent. It comes with a mosquito tent that could be put up separately. Both those can be put up separately. And then it comes with a tarp that covers both of those. Last time I went, I only had 1 night that I had mosquitoes in 10 days. I got rain once, so it is more important to me to stay dry than to get bit by a few mosquitoes here and there, okay? So this tarp tent, I'm only bringing the tarp, bringing the spikes to attach it. Like I said, it gets hung up by 2 trekking poles. It has these 2 poles in it, and I use this basically to roll my tent up with. Cool thing about this tent is it's got 3 poles in there, 4 poles. These are to allow air in, but the good thing about this tent is I found with my backpack is this front pocket here is the exact length as these poles. So I got really lucky. So the poles are in. And then I just, like my sleeping bag, I don't put it in a bag. I just tuck it in there. So because this pocket's in the front, it allows me to be able to pull this out first. This is the first thing I can pull out of my backpack. So that means I'm not digging for it, not having to locate it or pull out food and all that good stuff to get to my tent. So my tent's first thing I pull out, it's in the front pocket. And because this tent folds up so nice and small, it's just a matter of shuffling it in there, stuffing it in there. I'm not into stuff sacks anymore. I used to have a stuff sack for everything. And now I found that it's actually easier, lighter, and just don't want to get your tent stuck in there. It's lighter. My whole tent's right there in the front. See that? That's it. I have everything in this pack. There's a few small things that I'm not going to put in. I need to have those either on me or I just don't need them in there yet. But yeah, get lighter. Take your time buying this stuff. Eventually, you'll have it all, you know, what you need, and it'll be customized to you. Because what I got going on here might not be good for you, but this is tried. I've tried this, I've done this, I did this over 10 nights in a row, taking it out, putting it in, taking it out, putting in, refining how I'm putting things in there, where things go so they don't shift in the pack, where the weight's gonna be. This is super light on the bottom, super light on the back, so you're not being pulled backwards. All the weight's right here, and when I get the food in here, everything's only taken up halfway up here, and that's everything. My clothes, everything, my tent, my sleeping bag, everything's only taken up half this. So that means I can fill this much up with 12 days of food, and that will be in the next video. So I hope you like this video, guys. Stay tuned for part 3.